Okay, so substitution. When you substitute someone in sport, you simply take someone off the field and put someone else on in their place. Now, we are going to do the same thing here with our algebra. So we're going to replace each of these letters with a number. Now, all of our same rules still apply. We're simply going to change the letter for the number. Okay, so if you have a look at A, the first question here, we've got A plus B. Now, the question says if A equals 2 and B equals 5, find each of these. Okay, each of the following. So let's start with A. All right, if A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 5, we're simply going to change where you see the A, we're going to write the number 2. And where you see the B, we're going to write the number 5. All right, so A is 2. So instead of the A, I'm going to write 2. B is 5. So instead of the B, I'm going to write the number 5. So instead of A plus B, I have 2 plus 5. And I'm sure you all know that 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. Done. That's it. Okay? Simply replacing the A for the number 2 and the B for the number 5. Okay? And then compute. Go for it. Okay, so B. B, we have A take away B. Now, again, remember we said A is 2. So instead of our A, let's write the number 2. And instead of the B, let's write the number 5. So instead of A take away B, it's 2 take away 5. Now 2 take away 5 is equal to minus 3. Done. Okay, now this is where people come unstuck. We've got 2A. Now 2A does not mean that we change just where the A is and just write 23 instead of 2A. That's not correct. Do not do that. What 2A means is, remember there's an invisible times there between the 2 and the A. Remember that 2A actually means 2 multiplied by A. Okay, so 2 times A. That's what it means. 2A means 2 times A. So instead of 2 lots of A, I'm going to write 2 lots of 2 because A is equal to 2. Okay, so I simply change the A for the 2. And then plus B, well, we know that B is 5, so plus 5. Now, again, you can work this out because you've got numbers. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 gives us 9. Okay, multiplication before addition. That's our BODMAS. Remember that one? All right, next. I actually might copy and paste this bit here before we start, just to make it easier for me. So, I've got 4 lots of B. Now, instead of the B, I'm going to write 4 lots of 5, because B is 5. Okay, and instead of this A, I'm going to change my A to the number 2, because A is equal to 2. All right, so 4 lots of B became 4 lots of 5, and it was all divided by 2, so 2 goes on the bottom. Okay, so 4 lots of 5 is 20, and don't you just love typing maths? So 4 lots of 5 became 20 on the top, and on the bottom we have the number 2. Now 20 divided by 2 simplifies to the number 10. Okay, E. We have A squared plus B squared. Now A squared plus B squared, we are simply going to change to be, well, instead of the A, we're going to write the number 2, because remember our A is 2. And instead of the B, we're going to write the number 5, because B is 5. So we have 2 squared plus 5 squared. Now, 2 squared and 5 squared does not mean, well, it does mean 2 times 2, but it doesn't mean 5 times 2, okay? 2 squared means 2 multiplied by itself. So 2 squared is 2 times 2, yes, but 5 squared is 5 times 5, okay? So 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is, sorry, it's not a sign, it's a plus. 5 squared is 25, so 4 plus 25 gives me 29, okay? All right, the last one. Now, the best thing I can recommend is that you write out this exactly the same again, okay? So we're going to write it exactly the same, but instead of writing the letters A and B, we're going to write the numbers 2 and 5, okay? So instead of A and B, we just change them to 2 and 5. All right, so let's just change these. All right, so we've got 10 lots of A. Now 10 lots of A, I'm going to get rid of that A, and I'm going to change it to A times 2, because it's not 10 times A anymore, it's 10 times 2, because A is equal to 2. All right, and instead of my B, I'm going to replace that B with the number 5. Okay, and now here's what we've got. We've got 10 lots of 2 multiplied by 5 take away 2. Now, BODMAS, B stands for brackets. Brackets come first. Okay, so we need to do what's in our brackets first. Now, what's in our brackets here is the number 3, because 5 take away 2 is 3. All right, so essentially, if I was to write all this out again, what I have is 10 times 2 times 3. Okay, so 10 times 2 times this whole bracket is 3. 10 times 2 times 3. All right, what is 10 times 2? Well, it's 20. Multiply that by 3, and we get 60. Okay, so substitution, simply replace the letter for the number, whatever the number is it tells you. Okay, in our case, it was A was equal to 2, B is equal to 5. All right, you have some questions to do for me. You need to do the substitution online questions, because you can mark them, and I want a whole page of green ticks. All right, let's go.